Court, Starr County Commissioners Court meeting, October 13th. Let the record show we do have quorum, Commissioner Sines and Commissioner Garza being absent. I want to welcome all of you and thank you all for being here. Everyone will please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under public comments, we have Mr. Ramirez. Do you want to address the court?
Yes, thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I wanted to address the court very briefly with reference to two items that are on the agenda this morning for your consideration. The first item is item number 18, wherein there is a request to approve a contract between the DA's office and a gentleman by the name of Jaime Sepulveda for 3 months. I'm assuming the last 3 months of this year. I wanted just to remind the court of how hard I've been trying to protect the budget for my coming on January the 1st, and it's actually fairly exhausting trying to do this on a regular basis and keep track of what's going on. Also, I wanted to remind the court that I don't know who Jaime Sepulveda is. I don't know that anybody that's sitting here knows Mr. Sepulveda. I don't know what the contract is for. I don't know where the funds are coming out of to pay for this contract. I will tell the court that I have all the bank statements from the forfeiture account beginning in March of this year through, I believe, August or September of this year. And Mr. Sepulveda's name comes up quite often with fairly large payments of $2,000, $5,000, different amounts out of the forfeiture fund after March the 3rd. Obviously, I've let the court know that Chapter 59 does not allow the incumbent law enforcement officer who has lost an election to spend money out of their forfeiture account without Commissioner's Court approval. Now, with Commissioner's Court approval, it's perfectly legal and perfectly fine. I don't know whether or not Commissioner's Court approved those payments to Mr. Sepulveda after March the 3rd out of the forfeiture fund. If the court did, then they're perfectly legal. If the court didn't, then there's an issue. And I tried to, and I think all the commissioners and the judge understand the situation in Chapter 59 and the prohibitions therein on spending out of the forfeiture account. So I would just remind the court that I don't know why, maybe there's somebody here that can explain to the Commissioner's Court on this item as to what this contract is for, where the money is coming from, and what is necessary, why it's necessary for the first quarter of this fiscal year with COVID and the fact that there's basically a skeleton crew working at the DA's office, why it would be necessary to give somebody a contract at this point in time with what's going on all around us. So I'm asking the court to look very carefully at that item and get a very clear explanation as to why this contract is being requested before approving that, and make sure that it complies with Chapter 59 and the law therein. With reference to item 20, I don't really know what item 20 is. I know it's to approve some budgets. I'm not really sure what the pre-trial fiscal year budget is. I know what the Chapter 59 budget is. It's my understanding that this court has never received a Chapter 59 budget. So I would ask the court that before the court approves a budget, that the court obviously has seen the budget, has received the budget, has analyzed the budget, because it was my understanding that there's never been a Chapter 59 budget submitted. And I guess my point is, I would ask the court not to approve a budget that hasn't been submitted and been subject to scrutiny by the court and by the county judge. Obviously, I know that this court will not approve a budget that it hasn't seen. And it's my understanding that one has never been submitted. Now, I may be wrong on this occasion, maybe a Chapter 59 budget was submitted, maybe a pretrial fiscal year budget was submitted. But if those budgets were not submitted, obviously, and explained to the court, I would ask that those items at least be tabled so that we can get a clear understanding of what's in those budgets before they're approved. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Let's go ahead and hear the others, and then we'll go back and take action on these items. Item 8 is a presentation by Ms. Bella Garcia.
Good morning. My name is Dora Garcia, and I'm the attorney in fact for Ruben Garcia, my father. He recorded this document back in 1984. It's the legal document that you have. And as you can see, it's recorded under instrument number 123-862, volume 495, page 260. And on the second page, it's filed and signed by the county clerk at that time. And it's also filed and signed by the deputy, Liliana Canales, I believe. My concern is, this document, it is indexed in the books, but it's not coming out. It's not coming out as public records. If you see the other document 123-858, recording volume 495, page 260, the same volume and page, the second page of the legal document for my father. That, I don't know why, or what happened there. And the next document that is of record is instrument 123-864. So there's a gap between 123-858 and 123-864 on the records. There's all those documents, the 859, 860, 861, 62, and 63 are missing. They are written down on the books, but they don't come up when you pull them out by volume and page. It comes out the other volume and page. I had asked, maybe I was not able to explain myself when I requested it. I only need an affidavit of fact for Mr. Gonzalez to attest that this document was true, recorded back in 1984. The reason I'm asking this, I don't have a problem re-recording the document. I have the original. The issue is that my father is going to be 91 in this month. My mom is 89, and my aunt, which lives in the house, is 85. There's this program that are able to redo the house based on their needs, and they're not able to qualify because they need to have a certain period of time possession of the property. They can't just say, oh, I have this deed and now I can apply. No, they need to be in possession and living in the property for a certain period of time. That is the reason why I need for this document to be acknowledged as recorded back in 1984 when it was originally recorded. What happened, I don't know. And I had prepared a correction instrument document which Mr. Gonzalez was not able to sign, and I understand completely he didn't want to sign a correction. I prepared another document, an affidavit of fact. It's just stating what I just told you, that this document was true, in fact, recorded at that time, and for some reason unknown, it's not coming up with the volume and page or instrument number. And And that's the only thing I need for the court, for Mr. Gonzalez to acknowledge, in order for my parents to qualify for the help that they need.
What's going on, Mr. Gonzalez?
It's way before he was here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not his fault.
No, I mean,
What is he saying?
I'm not
I
saying
did
that.
talk to her, Commissioner Judge, and I spoke to the judge about this already. We asked a couple of county clerks around the county adjacent to us, and I will not sign because I wasn't there at the time, so I cannot, I mean, I understand what she's saying completely. And I believe the fact that that's putting now the blame on the county. And in my opinion, from what I understand, probably the best way for her to do it is to go to courts, and to go, and actually go to the courts and either sue the county or find out why. Because yes, it's indexed, it is indexed, but it's not in the volume page. So even though it's indexed, that doesn't mean anything. It's gotta be, recorded in volume page. Yes, it's recorded, for some reason, something happened.
Well,
I don't
it
think you
is
have a lot of
recorded.
time, porque, do you have a time limit so that they can
Well,
apply
the
for the
program
help?
will finish the funds.
What is our jurisdiction of
Yeah.
I really don't know, and as you can tell, we don't have legal counsel to
Because
attest.
I can attest to where their parents lived. They were our neighbors for a long time, and then we moved out of there, but their parents still live there. ¿Esa ya atrás de la casa?
Sí.
So,
And there's nothing wrong with that, but she wants me to attest that we did it wrong.
No.
No.
I want for you to attest that this document was recorded back in 1984.
And I can't do that, because I don't know that.
It isn't, I mean, there's a lot of signatures of Mr. Clark, and the other documents before and after, they're only attested by the deputy, and they're recognized. This one is by the deputy and by the judge, and has an
But
instrument.
those are
and
copies
law.
now, do you have originals?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, well, you didn't provide me originals, you provided me copies.
Well-
I'm not gonna sign a document that puts my name on the line, that I'm attesting that this document was recorded back then.
Not a problem, I can provide the original with the affidavit.
Without being an attorney, I think this issue will start in JP court and then jump to district court. I don't think we will have jurisdiction on it.
pues es esa que me hizo hablar.
¿Mande?
Raúl es del hotel, no que venga ahí.
Yeah, I really don't know, honestly, I don't know what the law is, or, this is the first time that this has ever happened, that I know of. I would,
And I see where you're
I
coming
would-
from.
If the
too.
issue is the original document, I can provide it to you with the affidavit, just saying that it was recorded, that that's the original signature and stamp of the county, because it's the original
yeah,
stamp.
I would think, again, but I'm not a lawyer, but I would think that would suffice if we have the original, and
Yes,
the
sir.
original signatures,
Yes, sir.
and it's got the stamp, the original stamp, that means that it was recorded.
Not only that, Mr. Clark's signature is in red, and the other one is in blue, so they were original signatures. They're not like black.
Yeah, I wish Mr. Canales would have been here, so we can ask him, but he hasn't been to any of our meetings. Why don't we do that? Talk to Mr. Canales, and if he says it's okay, I don't have a problem signing the.
Yeah, I need representation, because I can't do it.
Yes, sir.
If
Yes,
we
sir. I
have the
understand
original
completely.
copies,
What it does is it domino affects everything else.
Yes, I
We were talking about
understand.
before, and you work at a title company, so you know how this works.
Yes, yes. I
And
do.
that was another thing, is that she was sending me emails from a title company, and not her personally. So now I'm getting this from a title company that she works for, which is fine, but, the legalities of all that for myself,
Yeah.
I could have other title companies come back, and I called a third-party title company in the valley to have them check their documents, because they purchased everything.
Yes, sir.
I said, check the document number and tell me, maybe we're wrong, maybe you have it right and we're wrong, but they had the same thing we did. So, obviously it was something that was done then, but
Mhm.
I'm very careful when I sign things,
Yes.
I just.
I understand
You have to be
completely, yes.
careful.
Yeah,
Yes,
and we
completely.
appreciate that, Mr. Gonzalez, that you take that delicate,
Initiative.
to
Yes.
check everything that's correct. We don't wanna put the county in any liability.
Right.
But, we can check with Mr. Canales and
He said, okay, I don't know
if he
issues.
gives us a green light, then we can.
And I can provide the original, that's no issue either.
Because it just probably fell through the cracks.
Yes, I mean, and it's understandable.
But they do pay taxes and then, so that's.
Yes, we're current and
They pay that
everything.
currently. and-
Yes, sir.
Let's do that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the time that you gave me. And once you speak to him, if you would please call me, and I can provide the original document.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Let's see, we also have a proclamation from mental health. item number 16.
Good morning, Board of
Good morning.
Commissioners.
Good morning.
All right, my name is Catherine Campos. I work at Border Region Behavioral Health Center, and we're here to do our proclamation for Mental Health Awareness Week. It reads, whereas mental health is part of overall health, and whereas 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health problem in any given year, approximately 1/2 of chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14 and 3/4 by age 24. Whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States and the 2nd leading cause among young adults, 90% of people who die by suicide have an underlying mental illness, and long delays, sometimes decades, often occur between the time symptoms first appear when individuals need help. Early identification and treatment can make a difference in successful management of mental illness and recovery, and it's important to maintain mental health to learn the symptoms of mental illness in order to get help when it is needed. Every citizen in and the community can make a difference in helping end the silence and stigma that for too long have surrounded mental illness and discouraged people from getting help. Public education and civic activities can encourage mental health and help improve the lives of individuals and families affected by mental illness. So we hereby ask for Judge Vera to proclaim today, October 4th through the October 10th as Mental Illness Awareness Week in Starr County, to shine a light on mental illness and fight stigma, provide support and educate the public, and advocate for equal care.
Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the proclamation.
I second, Your Honor.
Moved and second to approve, discussion. Under discussion, I just want to thank you all for the work that you all do with our citizens that need this help. I know for a long time, it was pretty much a taboo, especially in our culture. But here lately, with the efforts that Border Region and other agencies have made our community aware that this is an illness just like any other one. So we thank you for the work that you all do.
And it is very important, Judge, because how many people with mental illness get hurt or killed by the police and the police doesn't know, they don't know that it's a mental illness.
And it's
So
definitely a
they need to be
community.
identified and taken care of.
Yeah. Everybody's coming together to help us, so thank you very much.
All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I want to wish my daughter a happy birthday.
Hey, all right.
Today's her birthday. Thank you. Let's see, who was going at? Item 17 is an action item, and this is to authorize the resale properties in Exhibit A. Mr. Thomas?
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Just for the record, Michael Gao, if you're delinquent tax attorneys. I'm actually here just on a housekeeping matter. That is, we have 10 properties that were previously put up for sale here in Starr County that did not sell. So those properties were struck off, and the county now has ownership of those properties. So we're asking for the court's permission to put those properties up for resale on December the 1st. You should have a detailed packet with all the photos, and you'll see that none of these properties are actual homestead properties. They're all either abandoned lots or abandoned homes, empty lots or abandoned homes. So with the whole COVID crisis going on, Judge, Commissioners, we're trying to focus more on these type of properties for collections. We're working with your resident taxpayers and those who have homesteads, and we're really targeting these type of empty lots or abandoned homes. And one, it allows us to, obviously collect some taxes, but more importantly, it allows us to help clean up the county. So it's kind of it's a win-win for everybody. So again, this is just a housekeeping matter. We need a resolution before we can sell these properties on December 1st.
Okay, the resolution would be to sell them at a sale or just to negotiate?
No, we sell them at a public sale. All the sales we conduct are at a public sale. So we'll have it December the 1st. here
Okay,
at-
but I thought you had already had them on the public sale and.
Right, and we sell them,
Yes.
we sell them at a resale, so it's, resale is basically reselling them,
Okay.
but it is a public auction. We have had one public auction since COVID started, Judge. which was this past summer, and we had it in front of the courthouse steps, and, you know, we do it in a manner in which we keep everyone social distance, we require the mask and all that. So we have some experience with that, but this will be no different. It's gonna be a resale in public by auction, and the properties will go to the highest bidder this time.
I move that we approve the resolution.
Second, Your Honor.
Moved and second to approve, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioner.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Okay. And now let's go back to our regular agenda. Okay, reports, I think we have all of those reports in our packet. If, is there any questions, I guess we can,
Gotta go back to the court, Judge, approval of minutes.
I'll see.
oh, okay, yeah, this is good. Okay, I stand corrected. Let's go back to item 4, the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion, Your Honor.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 5 is the vendors list.
Morning, Judge Bettis, good morning, Commissioners. You've got a copy of the list in front of you, you should have. We reviewed it and we recommend that they be approved.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moved and second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is claims.
Yes, again, you should have a copy of the claims. It's a lengthy one. We have reviewed it and we recommend it be approved.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, on the reports, I believe we have pretty much all the reports in our packets. If there's any questions, I guess we can go ahead and call.
You will do this or no?
And, yeah, I was gonna take a quick glance at it. This is through the end of the year, right?
Yeah, but we still have period 13, which is October, that'll fall into the year 0.
Okay, you wanna go over your report? I think that's a month in the report.
So this won't reflect 100%?
Monday?
This won't reflect 100%?
No. No, but we've still got the month of October.
The month of October?
Period 13. Yeah. Anything that got approved for that budget is
Yeah,
still
but
being
they,
paid out.
they got approved in September, but are gonna get paid in October.
Yes, some of what you're approved, you just approved in the
Yeah.
claims
Okay.
right now. Okay, so this is a report for the month of September 2020. Page 1, part 1 reflects the reconciled balances of the general fund at $1,197,025.95. The road and bridge fund, $177,965.36. And the payroll clearing fund at $397,359.32. Part 2 reflects the expenditure report for the general fund as of September 30th, 2020 as a percentage of the year elapsed. As of September 30th, 2020, 366 days have elapsed for 100%. In summary, the general fund amount expended year-to-date is $17,893,266, or 94.24%. Below the 100%. Breakdown of the several departments are reflected at the bottom of page 1 and continuing through page 2. The departments exceeding 100% are reflected in bold. On page 3, part 3 reflects the expenditure report for the road and bridge fund, again as of September 30th. In summary, the road and bridge fund amount expended year-to-date is $5,700,529, or 91.63%. Below that, you can see a breakdown of the numbers for some of the departments within the road bridge consolidated fund. The remainder of that page and continuing through page 4, we have a year-to-date summary of the revenue reports for the general fund and the road and bridge fund. Year-to-date revenues collected are $16,959,700 746 for 89.32%, and 5,849,679 or 94.03% respectively. Page 5 reflects the summary of revenues and expenses for the enterprise funds as of September 30th, 2020. International Bridge reflects revenues of $1,889,535 with expenditures of $2,075,287 or a deficit of $185,752. Gas operating system reflects revenues of $1,010,286 with expenditures of $761,333 for an excess of $248,953. The solid waste transfer station reflects year-to-date revenues of $1,407,821 with expenditures of $1,413,980 or a deficit of $6,159. And then finally on page 6, you have a summary of debt owed as of September 30th, 2020. The total current balance being $2,094,498. Any questions on?
No, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Dick.
Thank you.
Moving on, we'll go on item number 9. This is a action item to approve the burn ban. We do have it in place. I don't know if y'all want to.
I'm only way from the burn ban, it's getting dry quickly.
Yep, I second, Your Honor.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10 is just the extending of the declaration of a disaster for public health, and this is the one we keep doing every.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moving in second, all in favor, please, aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11 is an action item, and it's to approve the statement of award discretionary grant for public, regional public defender program. For, I guess this is the Starr, and Jim Hall counties, county auditor's office. This is the one we get for the indigent defense.
That's correct.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moved in second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12 is to approve the budget for 2021 CDBG program. Do you know, Rosie?
It's just the budget that was asked by the auditor.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moved in second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next one is the same thing, and this is the budget, well, yeah, for the TxDOT 5310, that's where we get our vans and stuff like that.
I'm only way from the.
Second, Your Honor.
Moved in second to approve, discussion.
Who's next in line to get the 5310? You don't know?
I would have to check, because I think Commissioner Garza was the last
Second,
one.
the advance.
Yes.
The ban, but he didn't get it.
He
Yo
did-
tampoco.
He didn't get it?
No.
He
Solo
didn't
$1,000.
get, because something about the application not being approved for the replacement of what he already had. Because remember, it's an application, and it has to
Right.
meet the requirements to replace.
Okay, but this is to approve the budget for 2020.
It's just the budget of, because I believe Marisela and the auditor spoke about the budgets, the money coming in, which are the grants,
How
that
it's
we
gonna
needed
be
a,
spent.
we needed a budget for
Right.
those
We-
monies that was
We've
coming
never
in.
done that, but,
I don't think we had done it before, but
Yeah. But I think it's a good practice to have, you know.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I
and it was
would
just,
remember.
it's just those two
So
budgets.
each commissioner is gonna have a little budget or what?
No, it'll be just the budget, and we have the engineering, we have the administration, and the construction.
There was a side.
And of course, we have one for the match that comes from each of the,
El Coscorrón.
yeah. I thought the auditor had
Yeah,
requested
on a
that.
lot of these little grants and stuff, we don't have those, and so we don't enter them in the system, and it doesn't reflect anything on there. And so it's just a good practice to have something.
Okay, I do have a motion and a second, all in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and then the next one is also the same thing. This is a budget for the COVID-19 CARES Act. This is a budget on the remaining, I think it's 1.4 million that we still have, as to how we plan to spend it. Of course, that can change. We can do budget amendments as we need. And I'll elaborate a little bit on this one. The last time that we covered this, I had asked for quite a large amount for the programs of the funerals and all that, and we're not getting the claims that I thought we were gonna get. So maybe for our next meeting, I'll come back and maybe change some things around where we might be able to help businesses, or, we need to spend it by the end of December. If not, the state keeps it.
Also help the people
So-
in the.
Quedamos unos.
Well, the utilities, see, the problem with utilities, we've gotten very little also. Yeah, because they have to have been impacted by COVID. So if our people never got laid off, or they got their social security checks, they weren't impacted. In fact, even those that got laid off, now they're probably making more money because they got laid off.
Nobody wants to
So-
work now.
Yeah, so, we've had a few, but very, very few. I think maybe businesses, they were impacted a lot more than,
Muy bien, por bien.
I second, Your Honor.
moved in second, discussion.
No creo que sea una dificultad como va a estar.
No, hombre, como.
All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 15 is a resolution, and this is for the home delivery meals.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moved in second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 16, 17, we've already discussed. 18, this was what Mr. Ramirez talked to us about. And honestly, I have not seen a budget.
Esta es la
For-
de mecánica.
I'm sorry?
Esta es la de 18.
De Sepúlveda.
De Sepúlveda.
Yeah, see, but I haven't seen a budget, so, for us to approve a payment for
But you
3
haven't seen a
months,
contract either, bro.
tampoco. I would suggest that we table it and until we get more.
Motion to table, Your Honor.
As much as I hate to do it, because Sepúlveda is my friend, but I'm second motion.
The thing is that we need to see what's in writing.
Yeah, and then the other thing that, certainly we need to be careful that our DA's office has the money to match,
Right.
the next year. We don't want to lose everything. Anyhow, I do have a motion second, all in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, and that's the table.
And to go into contract, you're the only one that can sign a contract.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a contract, I haven't seen a budget. Have you seen a budget?
It's in here.
Oh, it's in the package?
Yeah, I think it's, item 20 in it.
No.
It has 20.
Okay, well, but see, I won't get into it, but I need more lead time to see a budget before we can.
I just got it this morning,
Yeah,
so I haven't.
you cannot present a budget and ask for money, when we haven't even had a chance to look at it. That's my opinion.
That's okay.
But, okay, let's go to item 19. And this is to approve the forfeiture account budget from the sheriff's office. And again, I haven't seen that one. I would ask that we table all of those until we have a chance to look at it.
Can I chair comment?
But, yeah,
Motion to table, Your Honor.
Second motion.
okay. And also item 20, that'd be the pretrial.
Motion to
Budget.
table, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moved in second,
That would be the pretrial and the
and the sheriff's,
Chapter 59.
right.
Number 20 is two of them.
Yeah, because, we just got them today, so, I mean, we need to.
Then if you make time and sit down with it, Judge, no nomás, boom,
So
shove it through it.
I think the motion was 18 was already done, 19 and 20 is the table. It's been moved in second.
Yes, sir.
All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, 21. This is to establish contract for CPS. On that
Child
one,
Protective Services or what?
Monday?
It's Child Protective Services?
Yeah, but I have a question on that one. I don't know if y'all got copies of the contract. But I had asked, one staff to ask some questions, and I haven't got any answers back. Because it does call for a match from the county. It says estimated total expenses allocated from Title 4E. Have you seen this one? Okay.
I don't even know.
Anyhow, it's $325,950. And then it says total anticipated federal reimbursement, $69,000. Total anticipated county match, $256,000. So I have a big issue with that. Where's that money coming from?
Once again, I move that we table it until they sit down with you and talk about it.
I second, Your Honor.
Moved in second, to table, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 22 is an action item, and this is to approve new credit card fees for the gas office.
Para subir el nombre.
No, I'm gonna, it's actually a little better.
De 0 a 100.
Anyway, Judge and Commissioners, before you have, the first page that you see here is the credit card fees that were being charged to our customers. During COVID, I just want to, reiterate on that. During COVID, we were not charging this fees because we were having people call instead of getting off and paying it over the phone. The new fees proposed, I thought these were a little steep. The first one's the first page. I discussed with the judge and we went over this new fees to charge our customers according to their bill. And that's the second page that you see. That's the proposed fee schedule. $0 to $20 is $2. $20.01 to 50 is $3. $50.01 to 100 is $4. And anything over 101 cent and over will be $5.
And so if you pay with a credit card,
That's what they're gonna charge you, over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah, because this, really, this is not money that the county's making, this.
No, it's the credit card company.
right.
Right.
who's making the money?
La credit card company. Por usar el sistema, they charge
So
the
much.
county so
Yeah.
much.
So that is, we just want to get reimbursed. But before, I mean, it was a lot more than what they were charging. So the county was keeping that money, but I don't think, that's,
Well, okay.
it's really to give our taxpayers a good break.
Yes. And also, before we would charge a $2 fee for
No bills?
no bills,
Para
and,
nada.
I think we should not charge them because we have access to that
Se paga
computer.
todo el tiempo, nunca lo llevo.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve as presented by Ms. Guerra with the second,
Second motion.
the second piece.
Moved in second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 23 through, what is it?
One call.
Through 46 are budget amendments. Mr. Pettis, are they in for the budget amendments?
Amendments, that would be from items 23
Yeah.
to 46, and we reviewed them all, and they all are
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moved in second to approve, discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And it is 10:40. And pursuant to section 551.074, we will go into executive session to discuss order of salaries and the ASO. 11:10, and we're back in open session. Under order of salaries,
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
I have a motion to approve as presented. Is there a second, Commissioner? I'll second. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the other was just a report on the ASO. We're happy to report that it's going really well, so we're happy about that, but it's just informational. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion and second to adjourn, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.